Hi, welcome to Caribou Country Lifestyle. My name is Cheryl and we are going to do a little bit of a garden tour. Kind of garden tour slash checking out the chickens slash checking out the pigs and just showing you what's going on. We're at the end of May and I have a few things that I have planted in my garden. I planted some cool weather crop seeds in my garden a month ago. Actually, it was about a month ago today. And I just want to take you along and show you what's going on. So in behind me is my garden area. We have been doing a lot of work. Jamie has built me this great circular flower slash herb bed. So I'm going to be filling that up. I've got plans for a lot of nice flowers and herbs going in there. And we have been putting in bark mulch in all of the rows. This is something that we have been wanting to do, and Jamie was able to borrow a dump trailer from a friend. So we were able to, that's what we've been doing this last weekend, filling up all these rows, getting this taken care of. And we did a couple of in-ground garden beds in the back, in behind my garden area down below. That's where we had the pigs last year. And now we have the pigs in behind the chicken coop this year. So let's take a look at and see what's going on. Start off in this bed, in this row here. This is my Swiss chard that I had planted. I really have to get in here and get the weeds out of here too. In behind the Swiss chard is my Bloomsdale spinach, and there are some leaves ready to be picked already. In this row here, this whole row is an assortment of radishes. In the first one I have here is the early scarlet radish, and when I look through here, these are almost ready. Some of them are ready to be picked. I can pick some of the bigger ones out, making room for some of the smaller ones. Behind the those radishes is the French breakfast. There are a lot of French breakfast radishes that are ready to be picked. They only take about a month. Behind the French breakfast are my sparkler white tip radish in here, and I look at these ones, not, well, there's a couple in here that are almost ready to be picked. Kind of just grabbing some weeds out as I come to them. That's usually what I do when I water. I just weed the beds as I'm watering. Makes things a lot easier for me. So let's move on to my next bed. So on this side here, these are my golden carrots that I have, and I don't have to thin these out. These were the ones that had the pelleted seeds, so I could disperse the seeds out and see exactly how to be able to space them out at a good distance apart. Next to that is the kohlrabi. I have been in here and I've been weeding, and I've been plucking out seeds to make room for them to grow and get bigger. On the other side of this trellis is a smaller version of a snap pea. These ones are the Little Crunch peas. So I've just stuck this little white fence because they're only going to get about 2.5 to 3 feet tall, and they've already started putting their little trendles and attaching the little trendles onto the white of this fence, and then they'll just start climbing up this fence no problem. So that's what we have going on in these beds. I haven't planted any of the warmer crops. Our estimated last frost date is June the 2nd. Well, we haven't had anything below 6 degrees in weeks. It has been unbelievable how warm it has been here. So let's move on to the next bed. I've had some success and I have had nothing coming in here. In the back, I had planted my sugar snap pole peas, and not one of them have sprouted. I actually reseeded them in hopes that they would sprout, but these are some really old seeds. They're 10 years old. So, I mean, last year I tried it with corn and it actually grew. So I wasn't sure what was going to happen. Also, I had planted some red romaine lettuce and I ended up having to reseed that. I planted that in front of the peas. And then this is the Marvel of Four Seasons, and I've had to reseed that. I actually think last year when I planted the Marvel of Four Seasons, it didn't really do very much neither, so I'm not sure what's going on there. This is the countryside spinach. It's a baby spinach. This is ready to pick. Like, the leaves are absolutely beautiful. Definitely ready to be picked. And in here, this is the red kitten spinach. And it's got little red veins in the center of the spinach leaves. It's really cute. Over here, this is my asparagus. This would have been my third year for my asparagus, and there hasn't been one sprout of asparagus. I would have been able to be picking this year. I'm not sure what's going on or what has happened. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know what the answer is for that. I did plant some asparagus from seed, so I will be putting that in, but that's like starting all over again. So that was pretty disappointing. In this bed here, in the front, this is the Danver half-long carrots. They are doing well. I have been in here and thinning out the seeds on that. In this row in the front, this is my Golden Detroit beets. And in behind those are baby beets. And these baby beet seeds are seeds that my sister gave me, and they were a pelleted variety as well. And they seem to be doing well. We'll move on to the next bed. Here in the front, this is my hikari salad turnip. Now this one I've never grown before. I'm pretty excited about growing this. It's not quite ready to be picked. I have picked out a few just to thin them out to make space for them. Yeah, I see the white little bulbs on them, but they're definitely not big enough to pick and get anything from it. But I'm excited once they are ready to pick that I can't wait to try them. In behind the hikari salad turnip, I have planted watermelon radish. This was another seed that my sister had given me. I'm just multitasking by pulling weeds while I'm talking. So I have been in here as well, and I have thinned out to make room for, give them a little bit more room so that they can grow. It seems in the picture, it looks to be like a larger radish, but I mean, who knows really what it's going to be like. So I've never grown the watermelon radish neither, so I'm excited to see what that's going to be like. This is my Chinese Toy Choi. This is the seed that I saved from my Chinese Toy Choi from last year. This has been in a month and it's ready to be picked. If I let it go for very much longer, it's going to start producing little white yellow flowers, and it's going to be going to seed. So I'm going to pick this, but on this side of the bed, I am going to plant another row of the Chinese Toy Choi. Bed I have, this is the bull's blood beets, and it's just a very dark, rich, just such almost like a purpley burgundy color of them. I grew them last year, and yeah, I didn't mind them. They were good. I mean, I haven't had a beet that I haven't liked so far. So, and beside those in the next row, that is the cylinder beets. I've always enjoyed growing the cylinder beets. I use them for roasting, cooking, pickling, you name it, I do it. And then over on the other side of this bed, I've planted carrots, and I can't remember what ones I planted. Oh, these are the Scarlet Nanty carrots, and I have to thin those out still. But I've been going around and pulling out weeds as I go along. I need to water as well in here. Definitely need some water. It's been, like I say, very warm, and these plants are thirsty for some water. Here's another bed that hasn't been very productive. I don't know what's going on here neither. I planted 62 cloves of garlic in here last fall, and I think I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 garlic plants. Like, just not sure what has happened. Yeah, I guess better luck this fall when I plant them again. Over here, this is the fall and winter cover crop. It has taken us a while to get this little chicken coop hutch on top of these beds, and we actually got some help from my sister-in-law and brother-in-law last night to get this over here. Now we just have to put 3 chickens in there and let them take care of that. So far in my circular bed, my sister gave me a monk's hood, and it's a perennial that grows about waist height, and it has purple flowers on it. So I plunked it into this bed and then planted the cover crop, but it came back. So I dug it up and I stuck it into the center. It's going to be probably about 2.5 to 3 feet tall, and I thought that would be a nice place for it in the center. We're just going to go take a look over here because I got some other plants in the mail and I planted them over here. So I have an existing gooseberry plant here on the end, and then I got a new gooseberry plant in the mail, and I've planted it in the middle. So I've been keeping water on that one. And then here is where I planted my red currant plant, and it already had some green on it when I planted it in here. So I've never had a red currant plant, so I'm excited to have that mature. Okay, here are my potatoes. These are the potatoes that I started a month ago. I did a video about a little experiment I was trying, and so the ones in the back row, the potatoes in the back row, all those bags, that is growing in compost, straight compost. The ones in the middle row in front, that is compost and garden soil mixed together. And then the ones in the front, this is just straight garden soil. They all seem to be looking pretty good. I have added soil into the bags. Well, I've added compost into the ones that need a compost. I've added garden soil and compost into the middle ones. And then I've added soil into the other ones. And they're growing really well. I haven't really noticed one growing any bigger than the other. I mean, some of the varieties of the plant, some are just bigger because of the variety. But I haven't noticed that one is just, you know, growing better than the other one, at least not as of yet. So my sister-in-law and brother-in-law were here, and they were saying maybe this is how we should grow potatoes too, is with these bags. So I thought that was pretty cool. Okay, so we no longer have any chicks left in this side of the coop. We took out the last of the chicks, and now this is empty and just needs to be cleaned up. Got a chicken in there clucking away. Here are all of our older laying hens. The oldest are the Rhode Island red ones, that one walking away. And then the year before last, we got these Buff Orpingtons, the beige ones, and the black Australorps. And all of them are producing eggs. We moved the meat birds over to this side, and they are free ranging with the electric fence. And then Jamie has the little shelter for them, but they're all scratching and pecking in the grass and enjoying the sun. And yeah, when we were carrying them over here, you'd think we were killing them, but I think they're pretty happy now being out in the open. They're plumping up really good. That's the whole idea. And then the hen chicks, I can never remember if they are the Plymouth Rock or the Barred Rock. I think they're the Barred Rock. We have moved them into the back coop in this one here. And they are growing pretty big. Just gonna poke in here. I don't know if you can, the sun is kind of, oh, here we go. My camera. There we are. You can kind of see them now. But they are getting their black and white coloring in them. When we first got them, they were mostly white, but they're kind of looking more like the black and white stripies in them. And these will be laying hens as well. So we ordered 10 and we got 11, and we still have 11. So that's pretty successful for us. And then over here we have the pigs. The pigs are getting big. So we've got Chashabao, Cinnamon, I can't see on these other two white ones which is which. Okay, I see now. This white one beside Chashabao, that's Chunker. And the other pure white one, that's Pork Chop. Chunker is the only male, so I have to take a look and see which ones have teats on them and which ones don't. Over here, this is where we had the pigs last year, and this is where we're putting in the no-dig garden beds. And we have laid cardboard down, we've mounded up the dirt. This is about 3 feet by 30 feet. And then this one will be the same, but we had actually ran out of garden soil, and we're mixing the garden soil. It's half garden soil, half compost. And we only got about 2/3 of the way down, and we had to stop. So we are using some of the bark mulch as well, putting them in between the rows to suppress the weeds down also. So a lot of what I'm going to be planting in these rows are my brassicas, my cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli. I didn't get any Brussels sprouts this year. My seeds didn't take, so I don't have any of those. And then I'm also going to be growing some squash. I'm not exactly sure what it's going to be. It might be zucchini. I'm not sure. I haven't decided that yet. We've picked up a roll of 6-foot fencing. That's to keep the deer out. Just the deer will eat everything and anything it can eat. That's just what happens. So we've picked up a 6-foot roll of fence, and we are going to be putting it around the whole outside perimeter. And then we'll have a gate on this side below the steps here, and that way then I'll be able to get into it. So that's another thing that we have almost finished to buy the house. I've started hardening off my plants as of today. So what I've done is I've put my plants into the dog kennel because it's the safest place to keep the deer out as well. And I have 3, 6, 9, 12, 14, 19, 23. I have 25 flats of plants, and it varies from all vegetables. I have flowers. So this is my first day of hardening them off. I have them over here on this side because this is where the shade is at this time of the day. And I will have them out here for about an hour or two, and then I'm going to take them into the house. And then down over here, I've used a couple of other apparatus to have my plants. I've got 2 flats there. That's just tomatoes. This is pretty much tomatoes as well. And then I've got some celery and eggplant and geraniums, all kinds of flowers. I've got snapdragons, marigolds, just a variety, zinnias. I have chamomile. I have such a variety of different types of flowers. So that is what I have going on as well. This is the only spot that doesn't seem to have any sun in it, and it's not so bright that I'm having to wear sunglasses. So where I'm sitting right now, this is where the horseshoe bed is in my raised bed garden. This is where I have my asparagus at the back that is non-existent right now. And on the ground, this is the only part that we haven't put the bark mulch in. So I don't know if we're going to get this finished right away. Jamie was helping me get this finished because he's going to be busy now for the next 2 weekends and not going to be able to help too much with as far as implementing any more. I'm hoping we can get that fence up around those 2 beds down below, or I'm going to have to wait before I plant anything down there until we get the fence up. This weekend I'm going to be starting to plant my plants outside. It will be June the 3rd this weekend, and I am going to be a planting machine. So I have a lot of planting to do, and I have all my pots to plant up too as well. So I'm hoping that Jamie can get me some more garden soil also and get this all taken care of and get things put in. Yeah, it's coming along. I'm so happy. It is gardening season. It just makes my heart grow. I am just so happy to be back in the garden and planting with all of you. So I hope you like this video. If you like this video, throw in a like. If you haven't subscribed, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. So thanks for joining me, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.